What do you see up there? You see a pineal gland, a pine cone, and you have a pineal gland. You see the trees used to grow that tall until the obelisk grew up above the trees. Now the energy that made everything really abundant exists above the obelisks as far as I can make out, because I was looking at a small obelisk the other day, and above the tip of the obelisk all the blackberries were growing bigger than they were below the tip of the obelisk. So you see these things up here, and these obelisks, they have an effect on what we perceive to be the atmosphere. So above us, in the Sumerian text, which are the same as hundreds of thousands of years ago, which is a load of bollocks, there's a fella called Ustan. He was in the epic of Gilgamesh, Baba and stuff like that, and you can tell he was taken up to the gods. So if we pull down so-called gods, they're not gods, they're vampires, they're feeding off our life force. They exist only to sin against the flesh. They move around and they build pyramids, and then they use up all their natural resources, and then they move on to the next spot. That's the way it works. You can tell by looking at all the pyramids in the foreign lands in South America, where they used up all of the what you call it? They used up all of the natural resources, and the people abandoned them and went to live off and further away. The Maya, the Moche were ugly, horrible little bastards that filed down their teeth. You can see their temples today. Look at them, they've built out of skulls. The Great Wall of China was built out of skulls in parts of it as well. Because there used to be, people were a lot bigger, everything was a lot bigger, but as these things go up, our size and our lifespan goes down. It's like a seesaw. So if we pull down these obelisks and stuff like that, whatever it is that's feasting off us, that took our life force from thousands of years, from eternity, down to being kept alive by sorcerers who walk with them, who have them as gods. They don't have Jesus as God, don't have the Most High Heavenly Father. You see, Satan, are Satan and the devil the same, one and the same? Are Satan and the devil one and the same? Who knows? But all the heads of the people who profess, there's a lot of people that have their heads chopped off lately for loving Jesus Christ. And it says in the Bible, I will make you a new creature. So, as I stare into the future, soon to be my home, I stand a solitary creature, apparently alone. With the truth for my knife, and the pledges for my life. Them know me, them call me strife. It should have been apparent right from the start. It only becomes clear with the passage of time. The cliff of ignorance was no match for the sea. Yeah. And I have the right to travel freely across these lands. And every gate and every pair of legs belonging to a wench in it was the right for my ancestor to open. And if you want to know how to behave appropriately in the presence of the gift to the Gentiles, which is what the Lord calls us, his finest creation, a light to the Gentiles, you should watch City of God. There's a girl in there. You know the one where it says uncover thy locks, grind the mill. What are they talking about locks? Chastity belts. They used to have them, you know. I don't think the girls these days will laugh. Oh, foolish and perverse generation, but the next generation won't believe. Uncover thy locks, make bare thy legs. Yeah, because we're coming in. Excuse me, I've noticed you around. I don't even find you attractive, but can you put the good seed in me? That's where you learn humility. Seek humility, it's called. Women know their place. They will learn their place in the grand scheme of things. It's for their own good. It's for the own good of their children. They don't not like what I have to say, but look, face bothered, do I give a fuck? I'll pause this and see if I can find any more stuff to tell you dumbasses. Oh, there's another one. It's a pineal gland or a point cone. I want to mention is that dumb. If you're listening to this, you're clever enough. In my opinion, but that's just my opinion. And who gives a fuck about that? I'll tell you what I see when I close my eyes. Well, what I can see now in my head. It's just something I see. I'm not stating that as fact, but I'm saying it might be. Think about it. As them pillars go up, you see the shard and they keep getting taller and taller and taller. Eventually, they're going to reach up to heaven. And God said the last time he destroyed the earth with water, but this time he's going to destroy it with fire. Now, picture in your head a pinnacle of a building just piercing straight into a place where it was never supposed to be, where these heathen gods are, Houston and Biston and all of these heathen Sumerian vampire-like creatures are up above us, the battles with the spirits in high places, the ones they build idols to. And next thing, hails of fire came flying out of the sky, millions of them, because they hit some mechanism, self-defense mechanism that God put in place when we became evil. Because you know, listen to this, when they built the Tower of Babel, they had a plan, because they were already in heaven. They wanted to get into heaven, they wanted to